Hey, hi everyone. Okay, so let's get started. I know before today, excuse me, I said I was joining at 3 p.m., but I've been running around all day, just, mom life, Sunday life, all those things that we have to do on Sundays. So I pushed it back until today, right now, 4 p.m. So hopefully you can join. If you're watching this on the replay, it's all good. If you're watching live, say hello so I know you're watching, and we'll get started. So one of the things I've been talking about, right? So this whole weekend, starting on Thursday, I started talking about budgeting. And if you are listening live, just let me know that you can hear me. But I've been talking. Oh, you know what? I don't know that you guys can hear me. Maybe you can. I didn't plug in my microphone. All right, let's. All right, that should be a little clearer. Let me adjust my camera. Okay, let's try this again. Hey. Okay, so hopefully you guys can hear me pretty clearly. I wanted to come on today and just chat with you some more about how you can reach your financial goals. And today, in the email that I sent out to my list, hopefully you're on it. If you're not, go to journeytolaunch.com and just sign up to any one of the things I have going on. But in that email, I talked about a question that I get asked often, or if it's not asked to me, I see it all the time in personal finance, about treating yourself. So I saw this question on Facebook in another Facebook group, and the person asked, like, when does budgeting, because remember, we're talking all about budgeting and planning what you want to do with your money and finances. So the person asked this question: when does budgeting become too excessive? Like, after working 40 hours, 50 hours a week, really working hard, like, why can't I buy myself a coffee? Like, don't I deserve coffee? And I definitely thought that was, a question that a lot of people feel and a lot of people have. I at one point kind of felt the same way. Like, if I am working this hard, if I am, putting in those hours at work, if I am doing all of this, like, why can't I treat myself? Like, why can't I buy the things that I want? And so what happens is, a lot of people feel as though that a budget or something that restricts them, that tells them that they have to choose between one or the other, or they can't have the things that make them happy, is like just not, hey, Rashana, it's just something that they don't want to, they just don't feel like it's, I want to say, fair, right? Because again, you're working hard. Rashana, tell me if you feel this way. I know all of us, right? We work hard, no matter what job we have, we're working hard and we're doing all these things. And sometimes it feels like if we're trying to catch up on whether it's our debt or reach our investing and financing goals, it just feels like, wow, like, where is the time for me? And then you run into someone like me who tells you that if you want to reach your goals, you got to do more. And then you look at your budget or you look at your life and you're like, how can I do more? How can I do more if I already feel stretched, if I already don't feel like I have the capabilities and means to do that? So I wanted to talk a bit about that, because I do believe that there is a way to have what makes you happy in life with intentional spending. And that's what a proper budget will help you do. And so one of the things that we need to understand, and this is just in life, is about money. I think there's different ways to look at, money. I like to look at money as an abundant resource, meaning I do believe that, there is enough money out there for all of us, and there's enough money out there individually to cover our own needs and wants. And so I don't believe in a limited mindset about that. And Rashana says, girl, I work hard, but I can be so tight when it comes to money. I want to live life. Yes, that's what we're talking about. You want to live life. And so I know that, we're working hard and we're doing all these things, but okay, so how can we then now get to the things that we like or we enjoy while still reaching our financial goals, right? Like, that is the main question. And so one of the things that we need to understand is that I was saying money is an unlimited resource. It really is. Now, I know for some it might not seem like that because, we get a check with a certain amount every week from our jobs, and it feels like, well, if money is an unlimited resource, why don't I have more of it? And what I like for your mindset to start thinking and changing is that, income to me, money flowing in is abundant. Expenses, spending on things that, whether it's a need or want, not that should be in a scarcity mindset, but it should be in a more thoughtful mindset. And that's what the budget will help you do, is to get more thoughtful with your spending. So you can not afford, so Paula Pant, if you guys don't know, I'm a big Paula Pant fan. She has the blog and podcast Afford Anything, so I definitely recommend you guys check that out. But her thing is, you can't afford everything, but you can afford some things, right? So if you enjoy certain things in your life, like a cup of coffee. So today I went to Starbucks and I got coffee. I paid for coffee, Starbucks. And Starbucks is not cheap, right? Like when it came up, I was like, really? $6 for this? But hey, I felt like having Starbucks today and I got Starbucks. And so whether it's Starbucks, whether it's a pair of shoes or a bag, or just, maybe taking a trip. Now, I know those are different levels of pricing, right? Because if you're spending, maybe just a one-time Starbucks purchase is different than an everyday Starbucks purchase. And a one-time trip once a year is different than taking a trip every 3 months. And, buying a bag here and there. So again, it is about, the quantity of your purchases. But I'm here to tell you that you don't have to cut everything out when you are looking at your budget, when you're looking at living life so you can reach your goals. It's all about prioritizing, right? Like, it's all about saying to yourself, okay, what can I spend on moderately? Like, what are the things that make me really happy? So another thing that we're going to talk about in the boot camp is prioritizing your needs and wants. So the needs and the non-negotiable expenses. So this is what I call in my budget plan a non-negotiable expense. Your mortgage and your groceries, like certain things that you just need to live. Like, you can't cut out. Like, I'm not going to tell you, go live in a shelter because you need to save, right? Like, and not pay a mortgage. I won't tell you that. So I consider certain things that you're not going to be able to cut out, non-negotiables that you have to pay. The minimum on your debt, that's non-negotiable. You have to pay the minimum on your debt. Now, the non-negotiables do not mean that they can't be negotiated down a bit, right? Because again, you can get, Rashana says I like shoes, yeah. So you can negotiate some of the non-negotiables down to a better price. But let's say that some things in your budget, some of the expenses are non-negotiable. But there are a lot of things in our budgets that are negotiable, that are more wants, that are more like if it's not really dependent on us for us to live and survive. And so what I'll be doing in the boot camp, what I'd like you to do regardless in your own budget, is really, really to look at all your categories, all your spending, and categorize them between mandatory and non-mandatory, between negotiables and non-negotiables, like things you have to pay. Like, if you do not pay them, you will not be able to live because you can't get to work, or you can't, have a roof over your head and lights on. Like, that's one type of expense. A lot of the expenses that we have in a budget are non-mandatory and negotiable expenses, like cable and getting our eyebrows done, and getting our nails and hair done, and going out to eat. Like, a lot, like I would say, a big portion of the spending money that we do have is spent on things that we can look at and either eliminate or cut back. But what I want to say is that when you look at your non-mandatory expenses, the negotiables in your budget, you need to prioritize those. So let's say you have a plan for reaching, some sort of saving goal, right? So say you want to save $4,000, $5,000 extra dollars every month. Say you want to pay off X amount of debt. You want to be credit card free, debt free, car note free by a certain time. So that's your priority. So that's priority number one after you pay your mandatory expenses. And then you have all these competing wants in your life that you feel like, wow, like if I'm spending all my money, like hitting my financial goals, why can't I then enjoy a cup of coffee? But you can enjoy a cup of coffee. That's what the budget will tell you. You will still budget for the things that you enjoy, but you have to prioritize all the things you enjoy, and you might not be able to do it all in the same day or in the same month. So Rashana, for example, likes shoes, right? So I would say in your budget, in your you should probably have a clothing line item, even a shoe line item budget. So hey, listen, if you have something that you are really specific on, make a specific line item for it. Like, I know some friends that, like, non-negotiable, like, what they love is they have to get their hair and nails done. Like, it has to be on point, and they're spending probably a couple $100s a month on doing that. So I'm not going to tell about somebody who really, really values that and it brings them joy to, like, cut that out, right? Because you don't want to deprive yourself to the point where you feel like you need to then go and, you know, one, you're not happy. Because the really what I want you to understand that on this journey, you need to find a sense of happiness and contentment. And if you come from a place of deprivation, the journey will be miserable, and you don't want it to be miserable, because if it's miserable, you'll give up. You'll stop. I mean, think about like a diet, right? Like, what happens when, like, okay, I will give my own examples. There are times where I have put myself on just a self-imposed, just eating regimen, where I was like, okay, I'm going to change something, and I'm just not going to have any, let's just say, cheese for a whole week. And like, I love cheese. So for me to like go from like loving cheese and eating cheese almost every day or every other day to saying just out of nowhere, oh, I'm just going to cut cheese out for a week. Mentally, if I'm prepared for that, then it may work, right? But what happens is, because I'm depriving myself, I'm making it such a short like cutoff, it becomes something where the cheese, like I want it more, right? Like, I want it more than I probably wouldn't necessarily want it. It's all in my head because I feel like I'm depriving myself. Then I start making these stories up in my head. So that's another thing that we do. We make stories up in our head, and it's like it's like a yin and yang, and, you know, the bad and good guy, and the good guy is saying, don't eat the cheese, don't buy those shoes, like, you could do it, and then I'm gonna call it the bad guy, but the other part of you says, really? But like, you could die today. Wouldn't you just want to have your cheese? Wouldn't you want to be in nice shoes if something, God forbid, happens to you? Like, you know, it's that back and forth. So again, you can't really go cold turkey on the things you love and enjoy. And that's why with a budget, you know, you put specific line items in for the things you do enjoy. At the same time, you need to make sure that you are accounting for hitting your goals still. Like, I'm a big proponent of, you set your goals, you're hitting your financial goals, you're paying your mandatory expenses and your needs in your life, and you have a list of wants. You prioritize those wants, and you see how much money is left over to allocate to those wants, right? That's like the basis of being able to enjoy your life still while being on a budget, or while being intentional about your finances. So it's about the coffee, but it's not about the coffee. I started all of this in the beginning because I said, in case you're just tuning in, or you just you didn't catch the beginning, I was talking about, you know, someone said, like, why can't I enjoy coffee every day if I work hard for it? And it's not that you can enjoy your coffee every day. It's just like, but if you're going to enjoy coffee every day, you might need to maybe then cut out buying lunch every day, right? It's just a trade-off. And that's what I want you to understand. Another thing I wanted to talk about is I saw this quote, and I thought it was very powerful. And so it's something that I want to touch upon, because remember, this budget is just the basis. And that's why I'm doing this class first out of all the things I'm going to be offering in 2018, because I want everyone to be on the same page with this journey. Now, I know we're all at different levels, but I feel especially for my beginner journeyers and for my journeyers who don't really understand the budgeting, I want you to at least get to this point where you understand a budget, so then you can move on and build upon a budget to hit your goals. And so one of the quotes that I saw floating around online, which I thought was very interesting, I'm going to read it. It says, at the end of the day, you can't out-frugal under-earning, and you can't out-earn overspending. I'm going to say that again. At the end of the day, after all is said and done, no matter what you do with your budget, you can't out-frugal underspending, and you can't out-earn overspending. Okay, so what does that mean? So there is but so much we could become frugal on. Like, I know, especially in the early retirement community, there are people who are living off of $20,000 a year, which is fine for them. I will be the first to say that I'm not a super frugal person. I do enjoy going out to eat. I enjoy my occasional Starbucks. I enjoy, buying clothes here and there. So I'm not super frugal where it's just I am eating rice and beans every day and I'm trying to get my expenses down to zero. No, that is not the case. I really like focusing on income. raising the income as much as possible. And I know for a lot of us, if you're listening like that or watching, that's a big part of your struggle right now. It's not necessarily, yes, expenses are a part of it, right? Because we all can buckle down and eliminate things that really don't matter. But a lot of it is the income. And so this budget class is just a stepping stone for you, so that we can explore other ways in which to grow that gap that I talk about a lot. So the income that we're wanting to increase as much as possible, and the expenses that we want to reasonably decrease as much as possible. That gap I want to talk about. And is watching. Hey, Nasima. I want to talk about more. So again, this budget is just the foundation, because that quote is really what it boils down to, is that, there's but so much you can cut out. There's but so much you can be frugal on. A lot of it will come down to your income, and finding ways to maximize and increase that. And then, of course, the expenses side, right? So that's that two part of the equation that you need to figure out. Thank you, Nasima. So yeah, and then another quote I just wanted to bring up. This was a really good one, because again, this comes into the whole budgeting thing, where I don't want you to feel like it's a restriction and you should be so frugal or so tight and that you're not enjoying your life, where it just feels, right? So this is another quote I liked. If you close your fist too tight, money can't flow in or out. So I thought that was very good, because the whole point is to create a positive cash flow, to increase your cash flow. And there's nothing wrong with being a steward of your money, of being very in control of your finances, which is what a budget will help you do. But I do think it's important to have in your budget things that you spend on, whether it's, so here are some things. So charity. Yes, it gives you permission to spend, Nasima, right? Like, so whether that you're giving to charity, whether you are investing in yourself. So that's another thing, right? Like, what are you doing to invest in yourself? It's not all about necessarily spending on the discretionary items outside, the outside things, but what about the internal things, the things that will help you build your skill set, to build and foster a positive mindset, to help with your financial skills. Like you should be investing in yourself. Like, so gifts to others, giving to others, so it's not to say that you can enjoy life and give and give to yourself, give to others, give to the world, give to charity. And money is not the only way you can do that, right? We can give it through our services and our time. But, I want to just make sure that it's just like, it's not all about just being so tight wad that you are not investing like back into yourself and the world. Because I do believe that, like this quote says, if you close your fist too tight, money won't flow in and money won't flow out. So I just wanted to hop on and talk about a little bit of that. Talk about why, you can still enjoy a cup of coffee. You can still, you can still treat yourself and enjoy the things you love with a budget. Like, that is the whole point of it. It's really giving you that confidence that you can spend on that. Like, because a lot of times maybe you are spending on things and then you feel guilty about it, because you're like, wait a second, should I have bought that? Or could I really have afford that? Like, it doesn't feel good. Like, it feels good maybe at the moment, but then you kind of say, I probably shouldn't be doing this. We're like, with the budget in this budget boot camp class, that's what you're not going to feel that way once you have a budget together, because you can confidently get your Starbucks. You can confidently maybe buy the shoes that, you've been waiting to buy. You can confidently do those things and say to yourself, you know what? I'm good. Like, I can do this and I don't feel bad about it. That's why the budget will give you freedom and it will not be limited. I don't know why I can't say the word limited. So I wanted to just hop on and tell you this on this good Sunday. I hope that you guys are having a blessed day, having a great day. Again, I will be talking about all this and more at the Budget Boot Camp class. The last day to register and sign up is tomorrow. So I'm urging you, if you are interested, to sign up. Like, don't wait until tomorrow, because you might forget. And I'm I'm closing the registration tomorrow. So before you forget, if you're interested, I suggest you jump on it and grab your seat. I'll link the Budget Boot Camp where you can get your ticket in the comments here or on the video description. Again, it's a live class, but there's going to be a lot of pre-work. So tomorrow, I'm going to do a live tomorrow just to answer questions and to give just a rundown of what we're doing at the boot camp, just so you guys have a better idea if you're on the fence about if you want to join or not. But you know, there will be pre-work. So what I want to accomplish at this boot camp is I want to get a lot of things done. This will not be a class where I'm just like spitting information at you and then I'm like, here, go do it. Bye. Right? It's not going to be that. I'm going to be giving out pre-work, which is one of the reasons why I am closing registration, because I want to have you guys working on things so that way when the class starts, you guys have your information together and we can actually get some things done, right? We can actually prioritize your goals. We can set some things in motion so that by the time the class is over, you really feel confident about like the budget you've created and moving forward with your budget. So this is going to be an action-packed class where I'm doing the budget with you. And again, there's going to be pre-work. So I really hope if you are interested in this part of your journey, if you're interested in strengthening it, if you're interested in understanding it and getting this part together, and I'm telling you, it's the foundation part to get together, I really hope you join. So I'm going to hop off. I feel like I have just been, talking. Oh, if you have any questions. So here's what I'm going to do. If you have any questions about budgeting in general, drop them in the comments. And tomorrow, or the budget boot camp, so whether it's a question about the boot camp or budgeting, just drop them in the comments. And tomorrow when I come on and I kind of just run down the boot camp and more things, I will be answering those questions. Also, you know what? So I got an email from someone who said that so I sent the email out saying I'm going to do these Facebook Lives. And they said, well, I'm not on Facebook. So like, how else can I see this? So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to download all these videos and upload them to my YouTube channel. So if you have family or friends that you feel like this would benefit, right? Like you want to like put them onto this, you can maybe, if they're not on YouTube, on Facebook, or they don't want to join the group, that's totally fine. I'm going to put these videos on YouTube and you can direct them to it and maybe they're interested in it and you guys can kick your financial goals. What is it? What am I trying to say? Kick your butt. You can kick butt together. You can kick butt together on your financial goals. That's what I was trying to say. So again, I think I'm just going to download all the videos I've been doing to YouTube so you can share it with your family members or friends if they're interested too. So I really hope, again, you guys are having a lovely day. Drop any questions you have even after the fact. I will answer them tomorrow on the live video. And I hope to see you at the boot camp. Enjoy the rest of your day. All right, guys. Hi, Ann. Thank you. Okay. Bye, Nasima, Ann, and everyone else who's watching. Bye.